June 17, Old Fool Wisdom. We get back on the black subjects. Now, the last time I told you about the big elephant in the room, that 1/3 of the population. It can't be denied. It can't be shrugged aside. Something's got to be done. Bodes ill for the whole country, and especially for the black people. We're talking about that 1/3. Now, some scholars are bringing it up again. Said, oh man, it's 50% if you count all the people that buy their stolen goods and their illegal activities and stuff like that. Well, I don't know where it's 50%, but everybody knows it's 1/3. Like I've told you about, no other group in the world. Say like El Salvador. 1/3 of the population in El Salvador is not crooks, underclass, just a small minority. We're talking about reparations. Real quick, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff in here. I'm not somebody, people saying, oh my God. Well, they got some good excuses. They talk about all the people that died in the Civil War. Well, that wasn't even about slavery. I'll give you talk about that someday. But it was really about money. You never hear anybody talks about that. The money's out there, man. They got to throw money around. Foreign aid. You never hear about talk about that. Right here. First time you've probably ever heard anybody say anything about foreign aid. You've been watching that internet and the news and all that stuff. How many years now? Money going down the tube. Some sort of thing. How do we get into global welfare? Some countries have been on it for years. Why? Keep them from jumping on somebody. Man, that's extortion. When you do at their playground bully and you want to stop him from bullying somebody, you give him some money, man. If he don't keep that money up, what's he going to do? See what a lost cause it is? But you got all these dumbass people in America. They got these sorry, dumb politicians. Like I told you about the migrant thing, people getting tired of that. A lot of cities, man, black people getting hurt. Let's talk about migration real quick. Put it in real quick. The two most groups in America that have been hurt by immigration are the Native Americans, how's that sound? And the black Americans. Black Americans, they were caught up in the immigration thing, but it wasn't good for them. Anyway, even today, they're hurt the most. You got that huge mass of people, man, we're talking about here. Forgotten about. They're not forgotten about, they're an elephant in the room. Just talk about the reparations real quick. You even got black people out here running their mouth up on them. I mean, you can't give them people any money, man. That dude, you sort that money out, each one of them deers, oh man, he'd be broke the next week. Man, tennis shoes and something like that. Okay, here from Old Fool Wisdom. Here's a good way to start to handle that. All the ghettos on all the property that these people have been shuttled into, turn it over to their hands. No absentee landlord, not even the damn government HUD. Giving somebody 1/3 thinking they're doing something. I'll get into that on my homeless thing. Anyway, you can give all of these properties to black people. Now, they can form co-ops or whatever they want to do, but they will own that. All of that stuff, these properties will be black owned, and they can do something like I've suggested for the homeless situation. These places, the rents would only be what the maintenance is. And they wouldn't go up unless the maintenance and keeping them up goes up. Now you're talking about some low rent right there, man. No profit jive in there. Of course, there's some blacks that probably get in on that and try to hustle their own people. Like that right there. There would be a pride to live in those places. You see a whole change of attitude overnight. A good deal like that, their own community, their own territory, if you want to look at it that way. The government could turn some of that stuff over or just declare, what's that hustle these people do? Eminent domain. Buy them out. Take money out of that damn foreign aid. The damn military crop. It's been shoved in everybody's faces. You see them up on the internet talking about it. But the same one that's talking about it, the same one of these damn flag wavers, man. Bitching and moaning. Well, where you people been? Why ain't you done something about it? That money, that's your money right there. Then you got these emergency monies the government has to spend. Now they're going to have to spend some money on that dude over there in Russia. To hell with them people, man. What they all doing over there anyway, man? Or taking dope in there like that chick did. Damn. She retarded or something? That would be a start right there. Then all these rich black people. Oh man, so many of them out there, they don't want people to know who you are. There's more than what you think they are. That went on for years. Way back before Oprah and these other rappers and all this stuff. Some dude showed up one day, they claimed he was a rich man. Nobody knew who he was. Black guy died. I forgot what he was into. Stocks or something like that. Nobody knew who the man was. Nobody remembers him now. I don't know what the damn name was, but I remember it came up when people couldn't believe it was the black man that rich. One time, well, I'm not going to get into that now. That's another thing. Look at all this money come out. Well, I'm going to get into it now. All the money coming out of the black community. Black guy told me the other day, he said billions and billions of dollars on hair. Black people's obsession with hair. Now, I don't know if it's $1 billion. He might have been counting all the expensive cigarettes and all the overpriced whiskey that black people spend that money on. High-priced cigarettes. Everyone chuck around, man. Somebody's hustling these black people. American black. All of them. You got those good friends, the best friend a black man ever had. These dirty-ass liberals, man. What did I tell you what happened over in South Africa? Cat over there held the whole thing back. Mandela was in prison all those years. He didn't know what the hell was going on out there, man. You had people show up, patting his wife and other people on the back, and they even had some money in their pocket. They had an agenda. That's another story. Billions and billions of dollars coming out of the black community on the hair product. They say on the hair, the deception with hair. Now, I can't believe it's a billion. Millions, maybe, I can go for that. They say I'm wrong. You're talking black guy. He's an intelligent man. He's a businessman. He said it was billions. It can't be coming out of the black community. It can't be that much money coming out of there, man. Well, best question is, who's getting those billions? Where are those billions going? I still can't believe the billions are coming out of there on the hair stuff alone, I'm telling you. Probably everything, the consumerism, that's probably what they mean, but they claim it's on the hair. Now, one time, I don't know, they're still around. One family, they had publishing and they sold a lot of hair products to black people. But they were a black family. Now, all these billions. They could go back into these properties we're talking about, all these buildings, these high-rise places, these projects. That would all be in black people's hands. Be low rent. No profit, non-profit. There'd be one way to do the reparations thing and do some good and make reparations work, not be wasted. Now, I laid that out there for you. We're going to do that 1/3. They're growing and growing and growing. They're presenting the whole prison population just on black people. Probably even have to start a new system to segregate the whole damn thing, because you have so many black people in there anyway. The way things are going. Now, who puts that shit into the community? There's nobody down there talking to these young men. Some of them just say, well, I guess the rite of passage, I'm going to go to prison. Who is doing that jive, man? Another thing these rich black people ought to do, make your money count. Go back into those ghettos down there, man. Now, you'll find out who they are. Go in a lot of these churches. You'll find out who some of those youths are that go out there and work in fast food industry, keep up the faith, know how to say no. They know who they are in these black communities. Even that 1/3 riffraff, they can even point them out to you. They laugh at those people. Okay, you go down there and find those people. Now, all you rich black people, scholarships. You pick people out like that there, those people. You give them scholarships to college. Now, that's not going to be money wasted. You're going to be uplifting black people just by doing that. Setting good examples. Well, let's see. I mentioned Kevin Samuels, the last, I guess that's the dude's name. He wanted on up on the internet. I mentioned how most white people didn't know who the hell the dude was, and that's right. And a few whites would tune into his thing. It was mostly over in, it was a black thing. He had a lot of enemies, but mentioned they didn't know who he was. The high up people knew who he was. He's shaking people up. Of course, you got all these clever agencies, got their nose in everybody's business while the country's in trouble. Freedoms are freedoms. I brought that up about the dude. There were a lot of people scared he's going to run for higher office someday. Oh, man. He got up there in debates or stuff like that, man. He'd make all these clowns up there doing their little old tired bullshit. Make them look like fools. Could call them all out. Anyway, he was feared for that, way up high. He hadn't got into that point yet, but that was on people's minds. Way up high, that eagle. Okay, and I brought him up again. It brings up something. His death. Why in the hell? That's another thing the black Americans have got. Maybe black people all over the world. Every time some notable black person dies, it's never cleared up. What happened? Oh, not name them all off, man. Oh, Louis Lumox, that dude's supposed to be some author. Ran off the road down there in Minnesota, Arizona somewhere. Said his brakes was tampered with, car tampered with. Ran off the road. Was he killed in a car accident or not? Was it something else? Well, that thing's been out there a while. Martin Luther King, there's another one. This man went to old James Earl Ray prison. They didn't believe that man did it. You wonder how these guys get set up like that. Some fancy lawyer showed up. Going to get him off. Yeah, they got him off all right. Pretty soon you don't know what's going on, man. You're swept up in there. Too late. Malcolm X. They're still talking about that dude today, his death. Kevin Samuels. They're going to be talking about that for a long time. Now here, this is what happens when people don't stand up and try to duck and dodge when somebody dies. Instead of just coming straight out and telling the damn truth. Or whatever you think the truth is, at least come out there and give a story. This dude is supposed to be Kevin Samuels' best friend. Dude comes out there, now his dude's got a podcast. He knows how to talk and communicate better than I do. This dude's up there looking at the floor, shuffling his feet and mumbling and fumbling. Hey man, what you got to give a straight talk to people? Even if it's the wrong one, you can get up there and stop a lot of the speculation by hemming and hawing and shuffling and jiving. It happened over in the country western at something family, man. When the chick said she was talking to the woman. If she's talking to the woman's still alive. How did it happen? That speculation is going on for years and years and years. And it should, man. Somebody handled that all wrong. I don't know what happened over there. The woman shouldn't have had access to a gun. And her state of mind. How come she be, when she's dying or whenever it happened, how come they couldn't get stopped if they were that so close to the situation? Sitting there reading the Bible, reading Psalms together. Man, that sounds funny. It sounds real funny to people. I'm not going to bring that up, what that sounds like. Anyway, this is a big deal over in the black community. Every time a black notable man dies, you can't get some concrete facts, straight up talk about what happened. And it goes on forever. It leaves speculation for all these signifiers in the black community out there running their mouths, starting silly-ass rumors. Those urban rumors. Well, that gives them something to work on if somebody don't stand up. Yeah, and that speculation about our girl, Aretha Franklin. Go down south, man. You got more soul singing black women down there than you can shake a stick at and make her look sick. I'd rather hear Miss Jody. She didn't have a will. I don't know where she had a will or not. That sounds crazy as hell right there. Just think about that. Woman up there, all those close calls she's had with death, and she didn't go out there. There's plenty of lawyers ready to take her money and fix things up for her. She didn't have a will. Maybe it's not true. It's more of that speculation, that crop that just runs rampant through the black community. How did this guy die? And another guy, he died. This cat was out on the West Coast. This guy died because he wanted to help poor people. They got rid of him, they assassinated him. Everybody knows what happened. Dude out there in the crack world trying to throw some old weight around on an old half-assed reputation. But I'm bringing all this up. Check it out, what old fool's telling you here. Look around about it. Every one of these deaths of some notable black person is hung with speculation. Of course, they bring it on themselves, like that certain family I just got talking about over there in the country western Michigan. Fooling around, couldn't make up their damn mind. Whether it was accidental or they were all shook up. Whole damn family was weird. Yes, all right, you heard me. But they say, that's why there's speculations. It's going to go on for years. You got this in this black community, man. Every one of these people, Kevin Samuel, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, goes on and on and on. Old hot shots, Father Divine. Who was that other dude? Teddy Grace. People still talk about them people like they're out there today. Man, that was a long time back. You know, that hustle, how did they die? Well, black people get these games run on them. Old Jim Jones. You remember him? I brought him up in my talk about L.A. When I was talking about the gay people over there in MacArthur Park. That dude, faking those deaths. Well, people talk about him. He had a whole lot of help. He couldn't have pulled that off by himself. And where are all these people that enabled him? They knew what was going down. Half of those some bitches are guilty as hell. They even got out of that massacre. Cut and run, or there's some way they got out of it. Probably had parts in it. Jude made his game off of black people. Knew how to hustle those politicians. So he got in that power. Election day, or before election day, bring a big busload of poor old black people. Here we go again. Come a big busload, man, been down there at the election poll place. Some old politician be down there, and old Jim Jones say, "Come here, mister. See all these people getting off this bus? Let's go talk to one of them. Mrs. Philpo, who are you going to vote for today?" "Oh, Mr. Such and such." You know his name is right down on that third line. Remember that when we all taught you in the church the other day? We gave you an example of what the sheet was going to look like. All you got to do, even if your eyesight's bad, just go right down to that third place and go right over where you're at, and you check that box. And here's the man. Remember, he's the one you're going to do that for, Miss Philpo. Let her shake hands with that damn politician. He knew how to play them people. That's how he got in that power. Got jobs. Had a job up there in San Francisco, man. They gave him a job up there. Just showed up at work every day. Kicked his feet up on the desk. Maybe he didn't even show up. Drawing a check. That place leaks the stench of those people. They're just hanging over the black community. I said it once and I'll say it again. The worst enemy a black man ever had in this country is those damn liberals. They're not going to change nothing. They're a bunch of damn stupid ass liberals. They love to play like they're radical, especially that old Communist Party bunch. Those some bitches are still around. They just got that name. That's why there's a book about Angela Davis. And she was just tired of the system here, what done. She just wanted to throw her rebellion. She wouldn't join that old Communist Party USA. Biggest bunch of do nothing. Every third one of them informant. It's another thing. Guy's got a thing up on the internet. You can go check it out. I haven't read it. I think a black guy does, about how people get caught up in the informant thing. Old Sonny Barger brought it up in his autobiography. Shocking, the money is spent, taxpayers' money. You stick these informants anywhere, a little old thing, something comes up, man. Even if there's no danger over there, they go stick an informant in them places. They're all over on that right over there, man. One old Klan leader was a big informant. I wonder why he's still walking around. All those hot shots with all their guns. Here he was. Another thing they do, they give people money to bankroll them to start something, to start a movement up. They're all over in that old Klan, man, just not that dude I talked about. He was big. He was the guy that sold his membership thing. Some of my handlers just showed up. Man, you can go out here. It's going back to history. What was that old movie about that dude? The coal mining dudes. Sean Connery and them played Richard Harris played the informant. The people out there are a dime a dozen, man. I brought this up for you people. Money will do. That's why they were all shocked at Che Guevara. A lot of people admired him. Even his enemies admired him, man. All that stuff he went through down there in that Cuban Revolution. He could have sat down there. He didn't have to go out and prove nothing. That's why one guy's got him up there, I think, on Badass of the Week or something like that. Guy put himself out there. That's the type of guy you know. A guy does something like that, man, he ain't going to rat pink. Yeah, outlaw's outlaw. Old Taco Bowman. You get up on that top 10 list like that, that means you didn't cooperate. You didn't give nobody up, man. He was the outlaw's outlaw. The rest of these people are posers, horse shedders, attention grabbing. You didn't see him get out there and do that. Go hang with the celebrities or something. Anyway, that's up on the internet, that black guy explains why you got so damn many informants about that. Brother man. It's a dirty little secret the black community don't want you to know. These brother man, they snickering life behind closed doors about that one. Extended family. Look at all them homeless people out there. Extended family. Give people up with that bail bond, honey. Well, it's hard to believe billions are coming out of that black community. But I laid it down here for you about the reparations. Go in the ghettos, give them all that property, those buildings and everything to black people. Be in black people's hands, non-profit. Only time the rents would go up is when the maintenance of the place would go up. To run it. Be way down there. People be proud to live in there. Be fighting to get in those places. But there'd be a whole lot of them. That whole territory, all that ghetto area, all those high rises and stuff. You hear about that in Bensonhurst and where over in there, Brooklyn. It'd all be black owned. Some churches could take over and manage some of them, but it'd be black owned. Nobody'd be ripping them people off on rents. It'd be non-profit. You'd have something for themselves to live with. Pride. Be on that. People take pride in those places. Be proud of it. Could start building some more. Put all those black men in those places to work. It's another thing. Should help telethons. Money to build up for the homeless. Same thing. Could do it over in the ghettos. You got all these homes in these towns falling apart. People say, oh well, then that gentrification comes in. There's a little town in South Carolina. People say, oh, it looks bad. Don't look bad, man. People living in those places. They're happy there, man. And you're going to replace them What are you going to charge those people when you replace that stuff? Going to tear down and go in perfectly good neighborhoods. You can't go in a certain little town. You can't even go buy a house. People won't sell them. Little houses up there. They might, if you offered a whole lot of rip-off money, you're going to get ripped off. People live in those houses. Where are they going to go? But they're sneaking in. But you got all these small houses. There's some dude on television, internet, and TV, I guess. Goes through these places and shows you these old homes. Man, beautiful homes are sitting there empty. But all these damn retirees that claim they can't make it, they could go down there, and some of them want to work and want to do something. They could refurbish the damn thing themselves. They're ghost towns, those places. Homes just sitting there, and the guy says, that's overgrown, there's another one overgrown. Well, what's in there? Just because it's overgrown don't mean it's falling raggedy apart, rotten inside. And some of them are old. Those homes could be given to homeless people, homeless black families. In those little old towns. I mean, his church has been hustling black people for years. Could put that money up there. I'm going over 30. I'm trying to go into 35, maybe 40. Oh, the stuff black people got ripped off. I'm going to get in on that in black subject number 3. Black people done things, they got ripped off. I'll leave you with one right now. This guy stayed on his game. These alpha males, if they want to. This dude was a real alpha male. Competence. Sure did. Black man like that come up to some little old boy walking down dirty, dusty roads. Good old Reverend Ike. Now, he had the guts. He was a pioneer. These white people out there today, these hustlers, doing that prosperity thing, they didn't have the guts to do nothing. That man started it. They didn't have the guts to do something like that. He stayed on his game, man. I used to see him interviews, and he was in Los Angeles. They tried to put him down. Man, he dude didn't back down. He just laughed in their faces. Said, well, give me your money, man. I'll do something with it. You don't like money? The guy didn't back down. And people can say what they want us to do too about him. He gave a lot of black people pride. I watched his sermons. He was a good self-help man. And they all bad-mouthed him and everything. But that's not the point. The point is, he started that thing. Another black man's idea. I don't know if his idea. It's been around for a long time. The prosperity hustle. But he laid it right out there. The rest of those people were, they weren't preaching. Some of them old dudes, Daddy Gray, some of them people back in the black community, they weren't doing the prosperity hustle. What they were doing, they were poverty pimps. They were going to help all these poor people. Old Reverend Ike, he was telling you to do something for yourself. They stole that from the man. Every damn one of them out there doing that crap. They didn't have enough guts to do that. So you started seeing which way the wind was blowing. That's a classic example right there. Now people say, "No, I get old man. He's a very old fool. He keeps harping on that." No, I don't harp on some black thing. That's the way it is. I'm telling you, it's why you don't hear those other people talking about it. You get the cold truth, the hard truth. I'm not up here to make friends. Like some of these guys, these podcasters, a big tough talk. One of them got called out. He got scared. He's got a ton of money and a bunch of followers. I think it's the COVID thing or something. This dude even kind of made some half-ass apology. He shouldn't have said a damn thing. He should have stayed on his game like old Reverend Ike did when they tried to cut him down. He didn't back down. Another dude came to America. Now these old people on that Bible thumpers over here, they badmouth this guy. He's still out there. They talk about him. He's dead. They said, he was anti-family. He said he was a successful businessman. And he gave up his business and he gave up his family. He was anti-family. He came over to America. Well, what did the story say? What he did, he came over and opened up a storefront place. This is the guy that started the Hare Krishnas. Man, they come down on him, especially about all those little idols, man. You got all these idols in here, blah, for this and that. The man looked him right in the eye and said, that's what's going down. This is the way it goes. He didn't back down. He stayed on his game. That's why you got the Hare Krishnas today. He built that up from nothing. Now, I don't know what kind, he did a lot of money and stuff like that. But the man stayed on his game. He didn't let somebody come along and criticize him and get shook up and worry about, you had a white dude out there, and it's another one. I'm not going to mention his name. This big hotshot, like to wear regular street clothes. He wasn't going to put on a suit. This guy was talking about gay people. All of a sudden, the heat came down. Now, I'm not saying we was right or wrong about the subject, gay people. Point is, the dude backed down. He didn't stay on his game. If you're going to get up, you should think things over and what you're going to get up there and say, man. Got up there and started talking about gay people, and all of a sudden, man, you got an avalanche. Focus on him. Probably got scared his money is going to get hurt. You can get too liberal. That happened to Ted Hayes. I know the man. He was working with the homeless out there in California. All the liberals and all these bleeding hearts, and people showed up and they helped him out a whole lot. Let's put it that way. One day he talked about something, man. He was a person non grata. Money gone just like that, man. He stood up, he told the truth about a certain thing. All of a sudden, man, he was gone. All that support was out of there, dude. He wasn't PC. And it wasn't about gay people either. But he stood his ground. He told the truth. It cost him. Talk about how much money, a lot of black people have been in a lot of professions and they make the same money as the white guy. Some white guy did, man. And they had real credentials. I'm going to talk about that guy. Next stop about this man. Died living on Social Security. And I'm going to tell you what he produced and how big it was. Now, where does money go? Here we go again. Black people ain't getting paid what they should be of their counterparts, their white counterparts. Okay, people, old pool wisdom, hard truth, cold truth. Watch your back. It's a dirty, rotten world out there.